believe it or not, it's a quick turnaround. And obviously we are happy, excited, and you invest so much into a series, and it comes down to that, that last shot. But now it's another test, another challenge, and another team, and we just halfway to where we want to be. So I'm sure that we all learn a lot from this series, just like we learn a lot from Orlando series, and we continue to grow as a team. And when we face a challenge, I like how we approach the next game. So and definitely we will be challenged in the next series, game 1 on Wednesday.
Decompress tonight, get some treatment, enjoy it, and then we get back to work tomorrow, look at some films here. We can be better ourselves and start trying to get locked in and locked down, to Milwaukee. That obviously, it doesn't get any easier from here. So we know what they bring to the table.
That moment on Sunday, the shot, of course, from Kawhi Leonard, and it kind of plays into this series in the sense that the Raptors, 72 hours later, are on the floor in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Bucks have had nearly a week of rest. Or is it rust? But for Toronto, it's trying to put behind them a very emotional moment and focus on the task at hand.
I like the fact that you get back on the horse quickly. I think that's a big factor. And the fact that Milwaukee's been sitting here for 6 days or so, I think they'd have to be a little bit concerned. I think the pressure's always on the home team in Game 1.
Raps! 1, 2, 3, Raps!
Welcome everyone to Milwaukee, Game 1 of the best-of-7 series, the Eastern Conference Finals for the Toronto Raptors. This is the second time that they have been to the Eastern Conference Finals. Last time they lost in 6 games to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016.
You want a great start. You're going to get shots. This is going to be a different series than we saw in the first 2 rounds. There's going to be scoring opportunities, and the Raptors have to be ready to take them.
Lowry firing. He's made back-to-back threes. And the Raptors grab their first lead, and it's a 6-0 run. Kawhi connects. 6 made threes already. It's not serious. Oh, Pascal Siakam with the vicious slam dunk.
I thought we had it, under control for 3 quarters, playing offense, playing our pace, making them play half court. And then, obviously, the fourth, we got a little out of control.
Mismatch down low with Kawhi Leonard and Bledsoe.
Green losing it. Middleton to Lopez and a slam dunk. Milwaukee by 1. Giannis. Lopez. Deep 3 and it's good. 104-100. Led by Brook Lopez with a playoff career best 29-point performance. Will take Game 1 of this best-of-7.
We was playing so well early in the game. We was moving the ball, and I felt like we're stopping to move the ball a little bit. Also, we had a couple of times where guys have shots they didn't shoot. So I think we had to shoot those shots with confidence, and then try to keep play the right way, like we started in the beginning of the game.
I think we missed some shots. I think we had some opportunities. We missed a lot of open looks, missed layups, open threes. We missed a lot of opportunities to keep up the pace. I think that's what really hurt us. And they started scoring, so they scored, and we took the ball a little slower than we should have. And there's a lot of things that throughout the game that changes through the course of a game. But we let them get more aggressive than us, and they got comfortable.
Every series is different, and different matchups, So, like I said, it's only one game, man. The good thing about our playoff is 7 games, and we have another opportunity tomorrow. And I'm gonna watch film today and learn and then try to be better next game.
We'll watch the film and see where we can get better and make an adjustment. One game isn't going to decide the series. That's the one thing about a series is the first to 4.
So a turnover, the Raptors turned it over 12 times, leading to 20 points. Giannis on the inside, quickly to Middleton. Middleton firing away. Lead is at 11. And another turnover for Toronto, the fourth. Giannis with a slam dunk. Raptors down 107-92. Leonard on Giannis. On the inside. Plus the foul.
I mean, we didn't play very well tonight, and we did play pretty well in game one. You know, and they've done what, you know, they're supposed to do and protect their home court, and we've got to go now do the same and get ourselves, you know, back in the series. But it's got to be more of an effort like game one than tonight, because again, we were just uphill for almost 3 quarters tonight.
The Milwaukee Bucks take a 2-0 lead over the Toronto Raptors in this best-of-7 series of the Eastern Conference Finals. Welcome everyone inside Scotiabank Arena as we get set for Game 3 with the Toronto Raptors down 2-0.
Oh man, I don't think anything's gone wrong. I think Milwaukee took care of home court. I think that's what you play for, to have home court advantage in the playoffs, so where you can have the energy of your crowd, have the comfort of your own bed, play in your arena. You know, I think we let game one get away. You know, we had an opportunity to win that one. Game two, you know, they came out with some really good energy. They shot it well. They were aggressive. But ultimately, and that's what playoff basketball is about, man. You take care of home court. So they did their part. They won 2 games in Milwaukee. You know, now we have to do our part and win this game tonight, starting with game 3.
Well, you're right. When you talk about the Raptors potentially going down 0-3, no team comes back from that. So this is a game 7 of sorts for the Raptors. When you think about the intensity that they're going to have to approach this game with, the execution on the defensive end, and the bench production that's going to be needed to counteract what Milwaukee brings.
Last year in the Eastern Conference Finals in Cleveland, we were down 2-0 to Boston. Went back to Cleveland, won the 2 games, and then it became a 7-game series. The guys in the locker room are really good. You know, Kawhi's been here, Danny's been here, you know, Kalo has been here. You know, Marc Gasol has kind of been through some things in playoffs. So we have some guys who've got extensive playoff experience. And again, they understand, you know, Milwaukee took care of home court.
You know, our backs against the wall. And get back to having fun. Continue to work hard on defense. We should get this one, protect home court, man. Come on. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
You know, once the ball goes up, what took place in Milwaukee in game 1 and 2 are behind you. I think the fans are going to really get behind their team. They know the importance of this game. They know the importance that if you win this game tonight, you know, you're right there. Here you go. And so I think people are really pumped up.
Hey, yo, next for the game. Yes, sir. It's offense with the defense. Yes, sir. We win the ball, we win the game. We win the ball, we win the game.
As a team, we gutted it out, and Fred stepped up. He didn't make shots, but he still was out there doing his defensive thing. And Kawhi, Pascal did some great things. And tonight, Mark was unbelievable. Norm came in and gave us a big lift.
Raptors will be without Lowry and Norman Powell. 101-99. Kawhi, step back. Double overtime here in Game 3. Spinning. Green knocks it away. Kawhi. Attacking. Soaring. Nail it down.
What about a fellas? Hey, way to play, God damn. Way to play, Lamar. Good job, Brendan. Where to fight? Raps, 1, 2, 3. Raps. Good job.
Your grandson?
My grandson, yes.
Yeah. How proud are you of him right now?
I'm very proud of him. Words cannot express. I don't want to get emotional now, but I'm very proud of him.
Just hours away from getting picked. Been waiting on it, about 10 years since I was 8 years old. So it's finally about to happen.
This is it.
This is the look, huh?
Yeah, this is my look. Just Breno Valley swag.
I thought it was the performance. What island?
I remember he was an athletic guy that people weren't sure if he could shoot, right? That was kind of the thing about him. He's supposed to be a top 10 pick. You thought maybe he'd go to Washington with the 6th pick. They took Jan Vesely instead. You thought maybe he'd go to Sacramento with the 10th pick. They took Jimmer Fredette instead, right? Started to kind of slip down the board and then get to the 15th pick. The Spurs jump up. Trade George Hill, who's in this Eastern Conference Finals for Milwaukee for him. And the Spurs sent him with Chip Engelland for a few days before the lockout, gave him some instructions on what to do. And when the lockout ended, he came back a totally different player. And that's really the start of the, kind of the mythology of Kawhi. Then that lockout summer when he couldn't be with anybody from the team, he kind of went by himself, followed those instructions, remade his shot, and, started himself on what's going to be a Hall of Fame career.
I don't really compare myself to a lot of people. I'm trying to go in and be my own player myself. I'm not trying to live off of nobody else's name. I want to make a name for myself. And hopefully it can happen just from about the hard work I put in throughout the off season. But right now, I really can't compare my game to nobody in the NBA.
I'd seen him play his last game at San Diego State. I just happened to be at an NCAA tournament game, which wound up being his last game. And I thought he was a nice player, but I didn't see this. I didn't see what we saw in San Antonio or this. I know there are a lot of people who did project it, and they saw his workouts, and they thought he's going to be a great two-way player, and then, wow.
You don't want to put a ceiling on a guy after his first year, but I remember writing, at the very least, the Spurs have an elite 3-and-D guy. At the very least, it's clear he's going to be an elite defender who can shoot threes. That's a good place to start. Now this stuff, I don't think anybody saw. This Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, mid-range game stuff.
The thing about Kawhi that people don't maybe necessarily ascribe to him as much because of his personality, because he's kind of a quiet guy and he doesn't say a lot, right? It's just how hard this guy works all the time. This is a guy who, from day one, had to fight and claw to turn himself into the player that he's become.
Well, he's the best player in the playoffs. Kevin Durant was that, and then Kevin Durant exited with that injury, sadly, and Kawhi Leonard's been that. He's had a one-off game. And the other night, to win game 3 in here, down 2-0, a must-win situation, his quads had to be bothering him. At least one knee is bothering him. He's playing against the presumed MVP of the league and Antetokounmpo. To come up with that performance both ways. I mean, that's what stars do. That's why Masai Ujiri took a chance and said, okay, I'm going to bring him here even though he's not signed long-term. Getting him here 1 year is worth the risk. It's worth taking the chance.
The biggest concern for the Toronto Raptors tonight after that double OT, as you mentioned as well, Kawhi Leonard playing a career-high 52 minutes, which brings his postseason total up to 581.
You don't want to go down 3-1. You got this game at home to tie this series up 2-2, go back to Milwaukee for that deciding Game 5, because we know 84% of the time the winner of Game 5 wins the series.
We're going to make some shots today. Come on. Take home court. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Kyle attacking. Here's Gasol. Marc Gasol from Wasaga Beach. Driving Siakam. Fred VanVleet steps into the three, and he knocks it down. Free no. Serge puts it to Green. Serge puts it down. The monster slam. Serge Ibaka. Kyle with it. Here's Fred. The Fred towards center court.
We have to do these type of things. We have to try to be more aggressive and assertive, even to start the games. I think we rely on him a lot, and he definitely does a lot for us. But we have a game like this where everyone steps up. It's a lot of easy to pressure off of him doing so much offensively for us.
Giannis loses it. Here's Norm attacking reverse. The Toronto Raptors even the series and 2 games apiece in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes, sir. Get it done, man. Do what we got to do. Check the home court, man. Let's go get one on the road. Thursday. On the road, man.
Thursday. Get them all out of here. Got yourself a series now. Good job. Hell of a job. Let's go get one in Milwaukee now. Tough line set. Here we go. Raps, 1, 2, 3. Raps.
Game 5, we know, they're gonna come out with some energy, they're home, and we just gotta be able to keep our composure and play our game. It's gonna be a tough crowd. It's gonna be a tough game, but that's what the playoff is about. And at the end of the day, we know that for us to win the series, we have to win here. So that's what we got to do.
These guys should be able to think back and say, hey, we had a series with, I don't know, OKC and San Antonio, or Memphis and San Antonio, or San Antonio and the Clippers. There's guys that have been on all 3 different kind of teams that have gone a long way. So I hope so, right? I hope so. It should give us an advantage if our experienced guys can learn from the past. But we can learn from last series, right? It was 2-2 in the last series. We can learn from last series.
We got them on their heels. We can take their heart tonight. Come on now, let's do it. Let's do it. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Both teams got to win 2 times to go to the final. So it's gonna be tough. It's hard, and it's the playoffs, and the intensity is even it's doubled. So it's gonna be definitely a lot of mental strength, and I think the team, the stronger team will win.
Golden State waiting. The representative from the West. Who will grab the East? There you go. Fred VanVleet wants it. He's got 18, and the Raptors lead by 1. Leonard with Lopez there. Step back to 3. Yeah! Yes, he did! Great stop by Gasol. My goodness, what a play. Siakam cleans up, and the Raptors lead here in Game 5 on the road by 8. The Toronto Raptors take Game 5 on the road in Milwaukee, and they are 1 win away from advancing to their first ever NBA Finals with a chance to take this series on Saturday night back home in Toronto.
One more, guys. One more. Let's go. Saturday. Good job, Mark. Hey, Mark.
Grind it. Get into the game on Thursday now. Cannot ease into the game. Cannot ease into the game.
Stay humble and hungry. Take advantage, man, for real. Take advantage. Stay humble and hungry. Take advantage, man. We're 1 game away.
Stay humble and hungry. Stay humble and hungry.
Get it up. Listen, hard work.
Stay locked, man.
It's supposed to be hard this time of year. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry and humble.
Stay hungry. Humble. And get ready to get to work again, man. Okay, get to work again. All right, let's go. Raps, 1, 2, 3. Raps.
Come on.
It's been crazy. I mean, today is 1 day removed from the 25th anniversary of when the team was given its name. And we're not even talking about playing, just given its name. And all that preparation, all that vision, all that stuff that went into getting to this point has finally come true. There have been 17 win seasons, 21 win seasons. Glenn Grunwald taking boos at midcourt at Maple Leaf Gardens. Playoff heartbreak, sweeps, and it's what makes you, what defines you, it's what toughens you. You know, they always say pressure makes diamonds or pressure breaks pipes. And right now, the pressure and all the stuff that the team has been through, hopefully for them, it turns into a diamond.
Yeah, make some noise, here we go! Woo!
26 years is a long time. 1993 was the last time a Toronto team from one of the big four in North American sports sat in this position, one win away from advancing to the championship series. To borrow a phrase from those glory days, win tonight, and for the first time in history, the Eastern Conference Championship banner will fly north of the border. The Raptors and Bucks getting set for Game 6.
I know that Toronto's an amazing city. I've been here a bunch of times. It's one of my favorite, if not most favorite city in the NBA. I love coming here. But the NBA world doesn't know it. Like we hide the Raptors, we hide Toronto in a lot of ways, I think, because of TV ratings, you know, and it's unfortunate you don't see them on Christmas. Even though they've been deserving to be on Christmas for years, you don't see them for reasons that are only the fault of the locale, which isn't really fair. So it finally allows not only the NBA world, but the world to see basketball in another country that is championship worthy. I think it does a tremendous amount that takes another chapter ahead from the Vince Carter effect, brings it to another level. I think this would be not only emotional for people in Toronto, be emotional for people in Montreal, be emotional for people in Vancouver. This is something that represents a whole country, not just a city, even though it says Toronto on your shirt. It's the North, right? So if they make it, it's basically a scream, I guess you could say like a Raptor scream that will be heard around the world.
Hey man, we took home court from them. We give nothing back. They're gonna play desperate. We gotta play just as desperate. Let's make history tonight, man. Let's go out and make it happen. All right? 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And I think it means something for this city, but I think it means something for the NBA too, that their international franchise is on the map in a big, big way, bigger than they've ever been. And I think it could potentially be one of the greatest moments in Toronto sports history.
This is Game 6. The Toronto Raptors are 1 game away from reaching their first ever NBA Finals. Lowry driving, pass, Lopez, Ibaka, slam dunk. 78-78. Van Vliet working with Pascal. Raptors lead for the first time since it was 6-3. Brogdon attacking. Lowry takes the charge. Van Vliet sidestep. Free. Got it. Fred Van Vliet and the Raptors lead by 5. Behind the back. And Kyle steps in, steals it. Lowry to Leonard. Locked in and slow. Antetokounmpo. And the building can feel it. Lowry now drives, attacks, finds Kawhi. The 3. And it goes. He loves the rims in this building. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard. And he's fouled. 4-point lead. Playoff career best 17 rebounds. tonight throughout Canada.
This is unbelievable, Matty D. Unbelievable.
Hill, shot doesn't go. 24 seasons in the making. The Toronto Raptors are headed to their first NBA Finals.
Yes, sir. I said that's on the rope. Yes, we did it. It's on the rope, baby. Yeah. 5. Yeah. 5. Good boy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Let's go, boy. Let's take it to him now, boy. One more. I know. It's all good. You ready?
Hey, Toronto, this was the 100th playoff game in franchise history. And with that win, for the first time ever, Toronto is heading to the NBA Finals.
Congratulations to the 2019 Eastern Conference champions, Toronto Raptors.
Been a tough playoff runs for us. My rookie year, 2 wins away from going to the finals, battling LeBron James. Next 2 years after that, we get swept. But it's been a constant grind here. To get over that hump. And we're able to do that this year. We know we have a great group of guys who really believed it since day one of training camp. That we're on a mission, that we could do something special, that we could make history. And I think from that day forward, we just continue to work each day towards that goal.
They were talking crazy, man. They said we couldn't do it, man. They said we couldn't do it, man. That was time. That was time. That was time. That was time. That was time.
I worked so hard to get to this point with the season I had last year. Just always betting on myself and knowing what just knowing what I feel and, what's right for me. And, end up coming here with a great group of guys, with a lot of talent. And then I just, strive with them every day.
I'm going to basketball.
It's taken a long time to get here in my career, 13 years, 7 years here. I've ran into one guy for a while, and, we were given an opportunity, he left, and we beat a really good team in Milwaukee. For me, I'm a savor the moment, but, I'm not satisfied. Our goal is to win an NBA championship, and we're just going to keep getting better and plugging on the way.
And you can see it. You feel the vibes around the city. You feel the wave around the city. And it's special. What we're able to do. Create history. And I think since day one, the fans really believed this season that we could, achieve and get over the hump finally and make it to the finals. So. I'm just glad we were able to do that. I'm glad I've been able to experience every playoff run since I've been here, the ups and downs of it. And, we're really excited, to be able to go out there and continue to shock the world and prove people wrong. We're not satisfied of just making it to the finals. The main goal is to win a championship.
Yeah, boy.